Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Tara and I'm going to be sharing some very important tips for manifestation. Manifestation, the law of attraction, creating the life that you desire most is one of my specialties. It's something that I love working with, and it's something that I've been working on myself for many years. And one of the biggest takeaways that I have learned over the last while, it is so important for us to heal from the past and to resolve old wounds and traumas so that we can start to speed up the manifestation that we want, so that we can have the life that we desire the most. So if you're watching this channel, you very well could be working towards being a deliberate creator of your reality, meaning that you are starting to design your future based on what you feel called towards, based on who you are and based on what is most meaningful for you. Now, with that, a lot of our past needs to be resolved and healed from first before we get our big ask, before we get our manifestation. And remember that this is a very long journey. The manifestations that we sometimes want may take a long time, may take years, may take a couple months. But a very important factor is to look at the past and see what needs to be resolved and healed from in order to let go of the energy that may be holding you back or that may be weighing on your heart or your mind. The mind is one of the most important aspects of manifestation. Where our mindset is at on a daily basis is going to be hugely important. So if we are thinking that we are successful, that we are worthy, that we are confident, that we are abundant, then we are going to place ourselves in that reality. However, if we're working through traumas of the past that are still playing out in our present moment, still having resentment, still being triggered, still holding onto past wounds, still reliving stories of the past, and also living in the mind frame of, what if I can't do this? I shouldn't put myself out there. I shouldn't speak my voice. I'm not confident enough. Maybe I shouldn't do this. All of those mindsets come from the past. They all come from past conditioning. So this is all part of the here and now, of the present moment, of what we can do today to reframe our mindset and to heal and work from the past that is still playing out in some way today. And it plays out in a way of how we think and how we feel about ourselves and our reality. So it is hugely, hugely important to heal from our past and resolve the old wounds and traumas. And when I say traumas, we all have them. We all have traumas in some degree, whatever it is. And we need to go into the past and resolve them and let go of the past and heal ourselves so that we can move forward in the way that we want, so that we can start creating the future that we desire and that we feel called towards. But our mind frame might not be in the right place because, again, there may be fear, there may be hesitation, there may be limiting beliefs, there may be lack of confidence, there may be insecurities around receiving abundance, love, or success. There may be insecurities around achieving a certain level of success. This is all playing out because of a very repressed, suppressed, oppressed society that we're coming from. And we've all felt it in some kind of degree. So it is all of healing from the past, resolving those old wounds, identifying what they are, and not being afraid of going back into the past and revisiting them. Because we all have this in some degree. We're all going through this on some level. Every story is different. Every story is unique, but especially the work that I've been doing with healing the body, a lot of it is, I feel, there's a lot that we all have experienced on some level that's playing out in some kind of way in our belief system, in our identity, in how we see and perceive the world, in how we react to certain situations, and how you see and perceive ourselves. So this is a very important part of manifestation. So you can put your mind into the future. You can see and visualize everything that you want. But if your mind frame is limited, meaning that if it is being interrupted by limiting beliefs or lack beliefs, then it is going to halt your manifestation, or it's going to take longer to get there. So again, try and look into what is holding you back. If there's a limitation, if there's anything within you that's residing on holding yourself back, of accepting, of receiving, of stepping into your power, of stepping into your voice, of being confident. The second part is your heart. So it's the mind and the heart connected. So the heart has to be open. The heart has to be healed. The heart has to be resolved to be open and expansive to receive and give love and abundance. Love and abundance is the same frequency. It all comes from the universal language of love. So when we are in flow with the universal language of love, then we are in a place of receiving and giving unconditionally in a very limitless way. If your heart has been hurt and if you are still healing from the past, it's important to give yourself some time to heal and try not to rush it. It does require a process, but also work through the process of resolving it so that you can move away from the past and towards the future that you desire. And sometimes too, when we've gone through a lot of traumas, when we've gone through a lot of very serious situations in life, it can be very, very familiar to hold on to those traumas, to live in that energy, and to not find a way out. It can be very difficult because it feels very real and it can be very consuming. So if you're finding yourself living in a trauma or living in a story or living in something that's very heavy and difficult, acknowledge it, where it's coming from, but work your way out of it so that you don't live there too long. And we do need to honor the process of healing and transformation, but it's also very healthy to move our way out of it, because we can easily get stuck in the traumas and in the stories of the past and in the misery and in the hurt and in the sadness. And it's a very consuming energy. We can be in there for a bit of time to let it run its course, to give it some attention, to understand what it is and why it's playing out. But we also need to move away from it as fast as possible. Otherwise, we'll get stuck there way too long. When we go through stories of the past, the mind replays those stories and we get stuck in those loops, and then the emotions come in and the emotions make it real. But then there's a trigger between the mind and the emotions where the emotions want to continually feed into that story. It becomes very addictive. Then the emotion sends signals to the mind of wanting more, and then you become in a loop of that particular story or situation. It happens to all of us. This is part of our human experience. This is something I've gone through many, many, many times. That's why I know it very well. And that's why I teach it, because I know what it feels like. I know how to heal from it. I know how to resolve it, and I know how to get out. And it still plays out today. And it is a process. And the more and more that you work through this, the faster you will be able to acknowledge it and to get out of it and reframe the mind towards a positive mindset and towards a successful mindset, towards the future that you desire the most. So again, be careful of the wounds and the stories of the past, because they very well could be playing out during your manifestation. And if you're getting frustrated with the timeline, I know sometimes it does take a long time, but the mindset is huge. So where the mind is at, if you're living in an expansive mode of success, prosperity, belief, confidence, abundance, you're going to call it in faster. So rewire your mindset away from the past. And you can also heal from the past, of course, but be very careful of what the mind is saying. And if you're reliving in a past story or going into the mode of fear, of doubt, of worry, of insecurity, of lack, then that is going to interrupt your manifestation. So it is a bit of a process, and I hope that this video is offering some encouragement and inspiration for helping you with your manifestation journey. I also am offering body healing energetic work where I do work on removing those old traumas so that you can be free and liberated from the stories of the past, because we all have them in some kind of degree. So if you are interested, the link I will leave below for you. And I am wishing you all the best during this journey. I will be continually posting videos here to help guide you through your journey. Until then, I'll be seeing you soon. Take care.